So I watched an anime recently called Salaryman Club. It's glorious. I'm once again reminded that there is a whole world of sports anime out there. I loved every minute of it. Sure, nothing here will be groundbreaking. There are not going to be any twists which aren't done a million times. But goddamn is this a lovable series. What is it about? The life of a salaryman is a difficult one. Day in, day out work. Sucking up to the bosses, to the clients, and at the end of the day somehow making ends meet with a paltry pay. But there is a tiny spark of joy for one such salaryman. Badminton. And it turns out there are a whole slew of companies with corporate teams. Fresh after a failure, Mikoto gets scouted by one such company. A dinky beverage company which practices in a grade school gym and never gets very far. But maybe, just maybe, one day they will be face to face with greatness. I got a little pretentious with these descriptions. Oh well. What did I like? The chemistry between the main duo. They are amazing together. At first they start off on the wrong foot, but eventually the Ice Queen's heart melts. Ice King just doesn't sound right. Anyway, the two start really hitting it off despite such a difference in personality between them. All the characters are great and get some attention at one point or another, with some touching backstories. I got teary-eyed a few times. This is just the kind of series that does this. And speaking of, there's a lot of setup for certain rivalries between characters. For example, the main big bad really has a brother complex. And another time there's a former teammate who seems angry at the main character, but really is actually quite different. It's all really heartwarming and just... I don't have no word for it. I just loved it. Even the asshole was likable. I'd also like to point out that it's focused on adults, although pretty young ones. I'm not exactly sure what everyone's age is, but none of them are in school, which in anime always needs to be pointed out. As I get older, it gets a lot more difficult to relate to school kids, especially when it gets perverted. Here, by the way, none of that. If you are into men, maybe I'd point out that there are some ab shots, and at some point they are in their underwear, but it never feels forced. This is also sport, and sometimes people are just showing more skin. What did I dislike? So the thing is, this entire setup with corporate team, it's a little weird to me, because I've never heard of that before. Certain off-the-clock activities as people from the same company, sure, that happens. But dedicated practice and funding is a little weird. But that's not the point I dislike. What I did dislike is the douche who tried to disband the team. He's written as a completely unlikable asshole who is just there to be an obstacle. Again, nothing new, but I feel like there could have been more effort spent on making him an actual character and not a cardboard cutout. He just wants to get rid of a team because it's wasting money. Boo-hoo. Boring. Aside from that, it's absolutely 100% obvious where everything is going. Like I already said, this is extremely predictable. Still, the thing is, the series sucked me in and made me doubt that maybe there's a possibility it will go some other way, maybe something different will happen. Well, it doesn't. Of course they win, of course they struggle on the way, of course everyone lives happily ever after, that's just how these things always go. But hell, we all need a story like this now and again. So while I don't think Salaryman Club does anything new, what it does well. And I hate how that sentence is structured. Whatever, it's good. That's all I gotta say. A good series which I recommend and which paves the way to more anime focused on adults. Because screw them kids, get off my lawn.